All right, market's open. Good morning. All right, buyer's trying to push up, but kind of getting rejected there. Pretty close to the Asia high here. Then we got the overnight high with a London high at 0975. Yeah, so far kind of just rejecting. We'll see if we can get that push through here or not. Looks like it's trying again here. Looks like ES had a little dump off open. Again, kind of doing the opposite of the NASDAQ, which can sometimes mean we're going to be chopping around a little bit. Since we just don't have that consistency between the two. Alright, there's a little push up. Instantly rejecting the Asia high there. Might have been a good little sell. Now that I think about it. See if we can close above it though. Maybe go for a retest. Could be kind of nice. So we pulled back just a little bit to this 9 EMA. Dylan tapping in. Welcome back. We also got FOMC today at 2 o'clock Eastern, so got plenty of time. Don't have to worry about it interfering with our trading too much. But that being said, good chance the market's going to be possibly choppy in anticipation of FOMC. We also have some pending home sales at 10 o'clock. Alright, I'm actually seeing kind of a bull flag here if we get back above the 83 area.
Order submitted.
Might be kind of nice. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Interesting. Looks like ES kind of played out the little flag that was there. I mean, not that pretty of a flag, but a little consolidation. They got the little push up. Looks like Nasdaq's just kind of dumping.
Order canceled.
Very interesting. Might have some weird price action today. We'll see. Yeah, a bit of news today. Home sales, which might or might not do much. And then if you're trading crude oil, if crude oil in an hour. And then just FOMC later today. That'll be the big one. That'll be kind of exciting. But I'm usually done trading by then, so. Shouldn't be a worry. But still could have an effect on how the rest of the day goes. Just with all the buyers and sellers kind of anticipating the FOMC stuff. Looks like we took out the lows here. Also, 5 minutes starting to look kind of familiar, a little ugly. It was kind of like this yesterday. We had a green candle with a big wick, and then we had a red candle with a big wick for the first 5 minutes of the market, or the same thing yesterday, before we just kind of chopped around for quite a while. So, I mean, so far, not looking the best, right? Kind of tried to take the highs, failed. Tried to take the lows, failed. So, might not be off to the best start today. So we kind of tried to play the bull flag there, but got rejected, and now we're heading back to the lows. Yeah, kind of just chopping, getting kind of tight already, which is not ideal. But I should break out of it eventually. Hopefully, before we're done trading. That would be kind of the ideal thing. But yeah, 1 minute charts, little wick up, wick down, kind of just getting tighter and tighter here. Eventually it's got to break out, right? It's got to go somewhere. 5 minutes still looking not the best. Alright, I kind of tried to go lower, but rejected back into this little area. See if it attempts to go higher now. Could be pushing now. There we go. A little bit of buyers. ES is looking a lot better. Way better so far. Dumped off the open. Swept these lows. and then kind of came back towards the highs, found some support, and now it's continuing higher. See, that's like normal price action, is what I would say. This is just ugly. Filled the highs, filled the lows, and then chop. But yes, this is good price action. Sweep the lows, go for the highs, right? I can work with that. I don't know what this is. But we'll be patient, we'll figure it out. Yeah, almost doing exactly what it did yesterday off the open. Five-minute chart looking almost identical. Big green candle with the wick, big red one with the wick, green one. Wouldn't be surprised if this next 5-minute candle closes a red with a wick of sorts. But we'll see. So buyers could try and make a move here. Don't know if they will for sure though. I don't trust it, chat. I don't trust it. I got no confidence in the buyers or the sellers. They kind of tried to go for the highs there. Getting rejected pretty quickly though. Definitely not a lot of strength. Yep, the chop continues. We'll pull back on ES, but I imagine we hold and keep going higher since we're not chopping quite as bad over here. Still a little bit. If you zoom in, obviously we got quite the wicks going on here. Still not the greatest, but definitely has a little bit more direction than the Nasdaq. Dang, this is brutal, chat. ATR's only an 11 as well. So even if we weren't doing this, it still would be barely tradable, just with the low volatility. 3 straight of barcodes. Well, seriously, this is some rough stuff. It's been rough the past couple months, but this is probably the worst that it's been. It could be, but I think also FOMC's today, which is usually a pretty big deal. So usually like the Tuesday before, you do expect a little bit of chop, just with everyone kind of waiting for like the Fed statement with FOMC. And that could be the case today as well. But in the past, we've still seen like some pretty decent, I don't know, maybe we just got a little bit lucky because we just had enough volatility despite anticipation of news and stuff. And maybe tomorrow people are definitely waiting for as well, which just kind of adds to it. But typically, the Tuesday before FOMC, not the best, kind of choppy. But usually Wednesday morning, you can find some good trades sometimes, if you're lucky. But then it kind of slows down around 9-10 o'clock. Like it starts to chop a little bit early, like pre-lunchtime, and then obviously at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock Eastern, that's when FOMC hits. And then 2:30 is when like the, what is it, press conference with Powell. Anyways, that's usually when market just explodes. Gold? No, this is NQ. Yeah, I could be wrong, but it looks like we do have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. We have Apple earnings call, Amazon earnings, and then the Trump China meeting. That's not till like 10 p.m. No, 8 p.m. Or yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern. Anyways, at least assuming this website's correct, and that's not till like late in the day. So a lot of stuff tomorrow, but it's not till like after the market is kind of done. So we definitely could get a lot of movement with like the earnings calls and with Trump, but tomorrow might be kind of choppy as well. Looks like there's some earnings in the morning actually during like the London session. MasterCard, Q3 2025 earnings. Merck. There's a couple of different ones. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Geo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, we got some more earnings today as well though. So we got Microsoft, Meta, Alphabet, Starbucks, eBay. Oh yeah. So today could be a crazy day as well. FOMC, then some earnings at when the market closes. Should be pretty interesting. Definitely a lot of possible volatility on the way, which could definitely explain the lack of volatility right now, just for all the earnings coming up, as well as FOMC and stuff. 2-minute chart has the wicks of doom, despair, and everything unfair. I like that. I like the rhyming. That was good. Oh yeah, that's a lot of wicks over here on the 2-minute. Let's see, how's the 3-minute? About the same. Five-minute, definitely not great. Just up, down, chop, chop, wick, wick. Looks like we are finally going for the highs now. This is about dang time. Thought about going for retest in here, but we just didn't get the strongest close above. And with this big wick here as well. Not the prettiest. But we'll see how we do against the London high up here. Could be worth taking this. Alright, little shoot through this high there. See if we can close above it. Made 2K on short on NQ on the open. Nice. Yeah, had a nice rejection off the Asia high there. And then went down all the way to the lows. Definitely nice opportunity potentially. All-time highs again. Yeah, we love those. Alright, buyer's finally going somewhere.
Order submitted.
That's good. These good enough close, I think. We'll go for retest. Volatility is still pretty low, but I think it should be fine for my strategy. I might move my profit target a little bit. We'll see though. ES as well at the highs. Very nice, very nice.
Order filled.
Still makes my order look really big just compared to like price. Maybe I will move it to like 200 again. Yeah, volatility is just so low. This is supposed to be like a scalp, not like a this big of a move. Alright, holding up there a little bit. Could be forming out a bull flag as well. Yeah, I might kind of wick the EMAs, so that could be worth putting my stop back to like 250 just below the EMAs. But also I think I'll just go break even since we're testing these highs again. Is it gonna do it again, chat? Is it gonna miss it by a tick and then stop me out? That's the question.
Target filled.
No, we got it this time. We got it this time. Oh boy. Had me. I had some PTSD there for a second. I know the makers. I forgot to change my screen again. We'll take it. We'll take it. I know it's too early for them. They don't check in until like 8:30 or 9 o'clock ish. Nah, probably not 9 o'clock, but like 8:30. So I got like 30 minutes to make some trades, chat. Nah, they could be here any minute, especially after this win. We'll see though. Exactly. They get like a little notification on their phone. I'm like, oh shoot, we gotta check into that stream. We can't let them win, especially not more than once. Yeah, it looks like today I wasn't hopeless after all. Still a little ugly in the beginning of the day, right? Failed the highs, failed the lows, chop chop. But we did break out of it. We used the 15-minute range high, as well as the Asia high, I believe. So a bit of support, pushed higher. Now using the overnight high as a little extra support. But it does look like the buyers are losing a little steam up here. So we'll see what happens. This is ES kind of doing the same thing, which is good. We like the consistency there. Love the consistency. Alright, a little pullback. Good thing I didn't put my target too high. I think I still would have hit though for my typical, yeah, I would have got my 12.5 points with room to spare. But yeah, definitely don't want to be too greedy on stuff like this. Just a little scalp, a little win. Not going for a whole move, just a little piece of the pie off a little retest. Yeah, kind of making our way back down. A little faster than I thought we would as well. So I wouldn't put it out of the picture to kind of reject the highs here and then form a reversal. Definitely wouldn't put it out of the picture. However, I was not expecting it to just dump this fast. Especially after we've been lacking volatility so far today. I'm up 350 from NQ and 105 from gold. Nice. Well done. Dang, we might be headed straight to the lows now. There's like zero resistance here. Sellers just going straight down. Don't even have like a reversal setup. We're just going. I mean, at least give us like a lower high or something. Lower high, lower low. Something to work with. This is It's like kind of V shape. So up then down. Right back to the range. Alright, a little bit of support right here. Buyers haven't completely given up today, but they definitely ain't doing too much. Sellers could still just blow right through this. But yeah, definitely be a little cleaner if we had, especially like up here somewhere. Right, we made a low and then a lower high. Little broke the low, little setup, and then pushed down to the lows. But for some reason, I just get the feeling that we're just gonna dump right through this. Definitely does not make it easy to trade. So we did get a decent little retest on the opposite direction. Right, it kind of closed back into 15-minute range and then rejected off these two levels here to go lower. Typically I prefer like the first test of levels, but it's not bad. It's not bad like coming back the other direction. Continue lower. 340 on that move. Nice. That's what we like to see, making money. Alright, here's that pullback. See if we get that lower high, or if we just pump back up. This could be even just a higher low even. If you look back over here. Looks like ES might have taken out some of these lows, but might also be considered a double bottom. Oh wow, there's the slaps. So we did get a little pullback here to the 90 MA. But I don't know if that quite counts as a lower high. Almost does. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen, just like dump straight down to the lows. We did reject back a bit so far. That might have also been a little bit of a breaking news. Nothing's coming up yet, but we'll see. Might take a sec. I think mine's a little delayed because I don't have like the premium elite subscription or whatever it's called. But yeah, nice little slap there. Kind of just right back to where it was though. See if we clean up this candle, get back to the lows. Honestly, it wouldn't be the worst thing, right? We kind of swept the highs. If we can kind of take out the lows and then continue lower, that would be a pretty decent move. But we're just not leaving a lot to be desired. The ranges here are really rough. Because even this, it's like it could be some sort of reversal setup, but we don't really have a lot of like room to the downside as far as like this range goes. I suppose if we do just get caught at the bottom and kind of chop around, who knows? We selling today or not? Depends. Depends on what happens. Looks like we are kind of shaping up for a possible downtrend here, which means I would definitely be open for some selling. But yeah, I usually don't have super strong of a bias. For me, it just depends on what happens. George, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, if we get down here, retest the 15-minute low, I'll go short. If we build out a bear flag right here, I'll probably go short. I almost thought about this one, but it just happened too quickly. And like we didn't quite have a super clean downtrend yet. So I was like, probably not. Actually,
Order submitted.
I might try this one. See if we get another little slap down like we just did. That being said though, 5-minute candles. Not my favorite shorting into a big green candle with a wick like this on the 5-minute. Just sell. Now I gotta wait for... Where did my order go? Oh, I took it on ES.
Canceled.
That's awkward. False alarm. Looks like there's not actually... Oh man, that looks so much cleaner on ES. What the... We have like this bear flag. We have like this one forming up right now. NQ's got nothing. There's not even like a bear flag here. I guess I could trade ES, but maybe I will.
Order submitted.
That's funny. I didn't realize how I was watching. Yeah, ES over here. Had the wrong chart up. Yeah, NQ kind of had this flag. Had a little slap, just not as good of a slap.
Order
Yeah,
canceled.
still not the best to short into this with like the 5-minute looking like this. But also it's like NQ and it. ES could still play it out, but we'll go back to NQ. We'll be patient. What broker do you use? I'm using a propfirm funding ticks right now. So no broker. It's the best entry bro, 10 points above. You might be right. Might be right. Time will tell. $15 points more to go for TP. Well, hopefully it hits for you, assuming you're in a short. Which I'd assume you are if you're telling me I should be going short. So we could take the highest out here. Get a bit of buyer stepping up. Start to take these wicks out. Possibly make a higher high up here. Definitely on the 5 minute. Looks like it's holding up as a higher low. Definitely, I wouldn't be as confident shorting this just with the 5 minute looking like this, but does not mean it won't happen. So the bear flag is kind of playing out on the ES. A little differently than NQ. Probably could have gone away with a little trade there. But that's alright. No buyer today. Buyer will buy tomorrow after market drop 500 points today. If it drops 500 points today, I'd be a little surprised. Well, actually, no. With FOMC, yes, it could. But before FOMC, probably not. Also, there definitely is buyers today. We just might not make a move super high. But I mean, clearly there's buyers right now, right? Pushing from here to here. I mean, I made my first win up here for $200 was a long. So there definitely is buyers today. So you can definitely make money going long. But you could be right where there's not enough buyers to really push the market super high. Definitely still some buyers. So like I said, I'm not really long or short biased. I look for good setups and then I make trades depending on the setups personally. So I could be going long in here somewhere. I could be going short. Just depends on what happens. A little bit on the trend, of course, which right now we don't have a trend. Up here we had a trend, so I traded with it. We won, but no trend right here. If we get above the 300s, we could start to get back into an uptrend though. Or if we get down below 65s, get back to a downtrend, start looking for shorts. 500 points even for FOMC would be a bit crazy. But no, with the earnings calls later today, that could definitely move us a couple hundred points or more along with FOMC. So if everything just goes down, then we definitely could do 500. 311 followers, yes sir. No, that's what I've been saying. We went from like 2 to 300 pretty quick. And I don't know if you were here. I think it was Thursday. Maybe it wasn't. I have a picture because I remember I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of impressive. Where was it? Oh, it was Friday, so that means you must have missed it. We had a crazy stream Friday. We had a peak concurrent viewers of 51 with a total of 2,000 views. And we had 34 new followers from the one stream. Usually that's not the case. But that was kind of hype. But no, yeah, I think when you first started watching the stream, I had probably less than 100. I was probably only at like 50 or 60 or less followers. So, we're making progress. We got 3 new followers this stream so far. It's not bad. I think some streams definitely get less, but I think average 5 to 10 new followers per stream. Except for the one where I got 30. That was pretty sick. I've had a couple where I've gotten like 15. So yeah, streaming, good for getting followers. Since I can't seem to get a viral post. I'm sure it'll come if I just keep posting, but... Or maybe my content's just too like niche for something, I don't know. But yeah, my TikToks only get like 300 views on average. I don't even think I have a single one with 1,000 views yet. Red 24, thank you for the follow. There's another one. Let's go. But yeah, a couple with like 700 views. There might be one with like 800. Maybe not. But yeah, I can't get past like 700-800 views on TikTok. Average is about 300. But yeah, it's definitely been some time for sure. But progress is progress. One day I'll get a viral TikTok. And that'll definitely help get some followers. But for now, just keep streaming, keep grinding. YouTube's a little bit slower. But since I started doing this, trading and streaming and stuff, I think I started with like 12 subscribers just because my channel was made a while ago. Now I'm up to 58 subscribers. So that's been cool to see grow as well. Definitely a little slower than TikTok, but we're still growing. Yeah, I've thought about that. I might do that as well. So I do post YouTube Shorts, like typically like the same TikToks I post. I also post on YouTube Shorts. Actually, most of these I make kind of specifically for the Shorts, and then I just post to TikTok and Instagram as well, just to increase my chance of getting views and stuff. Because YouTube's kind of like the main. It was the main focus. Obviously, TikTok's been actually doing a little bit better with like the stream. Typically have like at least 5 viewers and stuff, people to chat and talk to. YouTube's a little quieter. I do have a viewer just kind of hanging out. It might be Dylan if he's still here, but it might be someone else. But I'd say like the main goal is to get like a pretty decent like YouTube stream going. TikTok's great as well though, so as long as it's working, I won't stop. But yeah, the shorts I've gotten a couple to get like 1,400 views, 1,800, just like 2 or 3 though. A couple of them around 1,000, 900-ish, 600. Some of them not as well though. Some get like stuck at like 6 or now like 160 views. Anyways, but the shorts have been good. The only problem with though is with just like the algorithms. Like I'm still like learning the difference and everything. But hypothetically with YouTube Shorts, if I have a post and it's getting views, I'm supposed to wait until it stops getting views to post another one, if that makes sense. So I've been keeping my eye like on the analytics. Because I did post, I think it was Friday. And like it was still getting a couple views like even like yesterday. So I didn't post like any trade recap on YouTube just because that was still getting views, but it kind of pranked me. It got like a couple views at like 10 a.m. yesterday, so I was like, oh, I'll wait till tomorrow. But then it got no views the rest of the day, so I was like, I probably could have posted again yesterday and would have been fine. But yeah, I used to upload daily on YouTube and then to TikTok and everything else as well. But I'm trying to kind of try the slow it down, wait for the video to slow down getting views, and then try again, or like make a new video. And I figured TikTok does better with daily uploads, so like I'll do like the trade recaps on TikTok, just to kind of, because they're kind of easier to make. I just make a little recap. It's easier to edit versus some of the other clips of like my actual trades. And I've still got like a ton of streams and stuff that I haven't like gotten clips from yet. So I can like get some of the good moments from those and make clips kind of like a couple times a week. Post it onto YouTube. Hopefully they do well. I mean, my last 2 posts on YouTube have like 700, 600 views. So I'd say like not too bad, but obviously not near viral yet. But definitely, yeah, still learning, still figuring things out. But yeah, TikTok I think does better with 1, maybe even 2 posts a day. So I'll probably keep up like the trade recaps, at least for TikTok. But I'll probably I might try add them to YouTube Shorts as well. I just don't know how to like, it's like how do I post them without like interfering with my other shorts, if that is in fact how it works. Maybe I do need to try 2 or 3 a day. So yeah, I've heard different things from it both. Like even TikTok, it's like I'll post like 2, 3 times a day, at least once a day. But then some people are saying like, oh, like only post once every 2 to 5 days or something. So I could try posting more. Definitely be a little bit more work to edit the videos, but maybe I'll do like 2, like a trade recap, and then like just another little edit of a trade or a gaming clip or something, kind of a mixture that I've been doing. He gets more reviews and comments on shorts than he does with his videos on TikTok. Interesting. Yeah, it's weird how it works sometimes. Because it really does kind of just like depend on like the algorithm and like a little bit of luck, but also just like the type of content as well. Some does better on YouTube, some does better on TikTok. Some does better on Instagram. Instagram's been weird because I've been trying to post on Instagram as well. But that one's just haven't gotten lucky, I guess, but it's been a little rougher. I get like 100 views kind of on average. I did have one though. I had one randomly pop off and get like 1,800 views. Obviously not viral, but still like a lot more than the rest of my videos. So yeah, it's weird how it works. But yeah, I might try the post a little bit more. Especially since I've been posting, so my channel's a little bit more maybe just recognized by the algorithm, like it kind of knows where to put my videos. Yeah, it doesn't take too much time to edit one TikTok or YouTube short a day, and then a trading recap. Sometimes I barely have to edit. Sometimes I'll just like cut a couple pieces to make it like a little bit more to the point, or cut out some of like the space in between me talking, just so it's like, I know sometimes TikTok likes it better when it's like boom, 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 instead of like slower, thoughtful sentences, if that makes sense. It kind of likes the constant talking, I guess. I could be wrong. Still trying to figure it out, obviously. Also, missed Prakash's comment earlier, bro. Haven't sold yet? Nah, man. We're chopping right now. Also, if I sold when you said that, I'd be in the red right now. Any good ones? Talking about trades. Look at this bad boy up here. I'll retest off the overnight high. Well, 10 points. Push up. We made sure to lock in some profits, right? Nice. Make sure we didn't get faked out again. But even if I had my profit up here at like 250, I probably still would have gone filled. But would have been funny if that happened again. Yeah, buyers kind of taking us up to an uptrend now. Back up to the overnight highs. Telling you, the buyers are here. We still might dump 500 points at some point today. But the buyers are in fact here. They're not gone. Look at the V's. Yeah, I mean we just got some chop right here. But this is definitely what I would consider a pretty nasty V. Or this as well. Alright, we kind of take out the high, take out the low. And with no continuation here, no continuation here. And then we go back all the way up to these highs. We had a little bounce off the overnight high for a little continuation. But like, I was telling chat while it was happening, I was like, okay, we took out the overnight highs. Typically in the past, or what I consider a good setup, right? Pull back to like here, make a lower low, lower high, or I guess just like a low, lower high, like right here, and then a lower low here, maybe a little retest kind of in the middle somewhere here for value gap, something, and then we go down, right? Get to the lows, or even to here, right? We make the same move, and then go back up for all I care. But like, instead of doing that, we just went from here all the way down to here, and then we just chopped around. So that right there is pretty ugly, in my opinion. But Ronnie says market's so beautiful right now. So he could be sarcastic. But also, he might like this kind of price action, which, good for you. I wish I knew how to trade this better, personally. Talked about 800 last night. There you go. It's the overnight trading. You're killing it. Definitely might not be worth it to trade today, not gonna lie. Got FOMC in about 3 hours, 20 minutes. So it might kind of chop around till FOMC, and then we also have a lot of like earnings calls later today. Yeah, trading FOMC days definitely wouldn't recommend. My strategy usually like isn't terrible. Like I can sometimes catch some moves. Sometimes I don't, but like it's not like it never works, so it's kind of worth doing, I guess. But obviously it just depends on the price action setup. Like if we're doing this, I'm not trading. If we're doing this, I'm not trading. Prakash is almost cooked. Oh boy. Now let's see if we hold this 9 EMA and keep going higher. Otherwise, he might make the move back down, save Prakash, but if not, he might be cooked. Oh, a little bit of a bull flag there too. Pretty small. Don't know if I'd take that. Also, ATR is down below a 10. It's a 9 right now. So regardless of whether we're going up, down, chop, I mean, we got the low volatility, which I typically don't trade. Yeah, has been happening a lot more recently. Typically, like I say all the time, we don't get below a 10 until after like lunchtime. But we like started today at like an 8 or 9. And then we were around a 10 during this chop, but then we like got up to a 12, 13, which wasn't terrible, which actually was what allowed me to actually get this trade, I think. And then we came back down and we're back below a 10. So this might have been the only move we get today, is this little pump, then return to range. We'll see though, we'll see. Still make some moves. Might consolidate and get a little more volatility later, but also with FOMC, it's going to be a bit rough, not going to lie. Oh shit, I totally forgot to see if my battlefield was updated. Because I know it wasn't yesterday, but when I started playing that other game on stream, I think it stopped updating Battlefield. And then when I was done, I just was like, oh, well, time to go eat lunch. And I turned off my computer, so I don't know if it finished updating. Yeah, it says it's only at 48%. Dang it, might have to wait a little longer to play some Battlefield. I could play Battlefield 1. It's been a little bit since I played that. Assuming it's not completely dead. I imagine there's still some hardcore Battlefield 1 fans that are gonna keep playing it. But I think a lot of people did move over to Battlefield 6 since it's like the first Battlefield in a while that's actually good, or like good enough to compete with Battlefield 1, at least in my opinion. All the games since Battlefield 1 have been kind of mid. Battlefield 5, Battlefield 2042. But Battlefield 6 has been good. And I am excited to try out the Battle Royale mode as well. Could be kind of fun. Could be pretty cool. We'll pull back here. Found support at the Asia high again. Still could play out this flag potentially. We are kind of in an uptrend, even though it's a bit choppy. Definitely could try and make a trade, but again, with the low volatility, it's really tough because I'd probably have to go in like 2 contracts or just like, it'd only be like a 100 point, 150 point trade, which it's like, is that really worth it? And with low volatility, it's less likely to get any sort of momentum kind of move, which is kind of what bull and bear flags are. You think Powell mentioned quantitative tightening? Honestly, I have no idea. I wish I knew though. I'm sure that'd be some useful information. Yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. You might not be cooked. Not cooked yet. What's the bias for FOMC? Again, I kind of wish I did have a bias. Some people in chat are saying it's gonna dump 500 points, but honestly, I don't. I typically try not to have a super strong bias with news. Maybe that's just me, and maybe I just am not the best. Maybe not the most informed with certain things where I could have a bit of a bias and it could help me. But I'd say typically, yeah, I don't have a super strong bias. I just kind of wait and see what happens from news, and then I trade based off what happens. But I mean, I don't trade FOMC anyway, so I'll wait till tomorrow. But if we can get any more setups in the next hour or 45 minutes, we'll take them. So we could be switching to a little downtrend here. Yeah, we are kind of due for a bit of a dump since we are at the all-time highs. We also have a lot of earnings calls today. And I know they don't always go up, but typically with like big companies, earning calls are usually pretty bullish. So I also wouldn't be surprised if after the market closes and we get those earnings calls, we get a little bit of a gap up, possibly, but we'll see. So yeah, it might be a bit weird. We might dump from Powell, but then we might gap back up from the earnings. Again, I wouldn't say it's a bias, but maybe a little bit of a prediction. But also, I think it really just depends on what kind of tie Powell's wearing. That's what I hear. I hear if he's wearing a purple tie, we're going straight to the moon. But then if he doesn't wear a purple tie, we dump. That's the strat. So we'll have to wait and see what tie he's wearing. Yeah, I heard that somewhere. I thought it was funny. And I think it's like low-key, not like actually every time it happens, but a lot of the time when he makes like some more bullish announcement or statement, he's wearing a purple tie, which is just funny. So if everyone jokes like, oh, he's wearing a purple tie, go long now. So I'll keep an eye out for the tie. I'll keep an eye out for that. Alright, market's still dumping a little bit. A little pullback there. A little slap. Oh yeah, full port the purple tie. That's right. Good strategy right there. Nothing could go wrong. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Getting close to VWAP as well. This could be another area we chop around at. Or maybe find some support, bounce back up. I'm not a big fan of shorting into VWAP. I'll say that every time we trade. If we're near VWAP, don't like trading. Don't want to short into VWAP, don't want to long into VWAP. Sometimes we bounce it, which isn't a terrible trade, but it's just one I don't risk my money on. My VWAP's sitting at 68 right now. I have on my trading view, so it's kind of around this area. It's kind of like a moving average, so it's not like a line like this, obviously, but it's in this area for now until it moves. But we've already kind of bounced a little bit here, so we might just run through VWAP here. Bounced off of it earlier down here. That's where VWAP was earlier. So definitely don't want to short into it, but we'll see what happens. Actually, how do I draw like a free line? Can I do that? Or can I only draw like straight lines? No, that's not it. One more push in TP. We just hit VWAP, so hopefully we can push through VWAP for you so you can get your TP. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we bounce VWAP, unfortunately. Again, not a big fan of shorting into VWAP. And we're still kind of in this range too. We haven't really gone anywhere today. But like I said, if we take out, maybe not this low, but we basically just need to get out of this 15-minute range. If we get below here, down to the 54s, then I'll like some shorts. All right, there's that push through VWAP. Again, another good sign. Good for the shorts. Could be good for some setups. ATR is back above a 10, just barely though. But could be just what we need for a trade. Alright, there's a little push down. Rejecting the 15-minute low so far. Yo. There's the shorts coming in. We're still not down 500 points, but this could be the beginning of it. We'll see. Alright, not the best close below the 15-minute range. I don't know if it's a retest I would try and take, but it might be all we get. We'll see. Keep selling, maybe. This little bounce though isn't the best for. I guess it's only 10 points of drawdown so far. Not too bad. But definitely probably good to lock in some profits down there. Buyers bringing it back. Throwing it back, you could say. Could be going back for these highs. Who knows? This candle's pretty strong. See if we find any resistance here at the 9 EMA. But so far we have like none. have a limit at true day open at that 245 level. Like limit buy means you probably got, if you got in a buy there, that would have been a killer. You'd be in some good profit right now. Up like 35 points, 30 points. Nice. Pretty solid trade. You're seeing off the true open like yesterday. What is it, like 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock? Something like that. Best sell. Maybe. It sounds like he just made a bunch of money going long. Okay, right at like midnight. Gotcha, gotcha. Kinda, isn't that like the London Open? Kinda, or maybe that's like a little bit later. I can't remember. I always lose track of that stuff. But it seemed to work out pretty well for you. Bull flag incoming. Looks like we kind of got one a little bit here, unless you meant bear flag, which kinda. This green candle is a little big. It's a little hard to draw this without kind of going through this. Definitely could play out here. We did take out the low here. We definitely could get a little push, but yeah, with a big strong body like this, it wouldn't be like the most preferred bear flag. But if you did mean bull flag, we definitely could have a little one on the way here, depending on how these next couple candles close. You love it because institutions make decisions at that level. Okay, I'm clearly they did something there, so very nice. Might have to keep an eye on that. We're also right at VWAP. Yeah, not a fan of VWAP. I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of hug VWAP for a little bit. That looks like it's kind of what it's doing. Like, what? Don't really want to short since VWAP is literally right here. Wait, I need to like. How do I draw like a free line? I'm like looking at the tools and all I have is like lines, raise, extended line, arrow line. What else? Vertical line, horizontal, Fibonacci. I just want to draw. I just want to have fun. Draw a little picture. Yeah, kind of chopping our view up right now. Definitely could take out these wicks and get a little push higher. Or could do. You have to enter drawing mode. Stay and draw. Hold up. You might be onto something. There is like a stay and draw mode option, which I checked. But I still have like my cursor here. But then if I click uncheck it, then I'm not in drawing mode. Maybe I haven't quite found. So there's like a check for drawing mode, but there's not like a enter drawing mode. So I don't think I am in like in drawing mode. Building for the follow. Let me see if I can Google it, because that could be what I need. Ninja Trader drawing mode. I may have to like do like a little right click. Because I've just been clicking the little pen at the top. If I right click, let's see. Alright. Kind of coming back down a little bit. Should I sell TP at low? Might not be terrible. We did kind of have this bear flag and not the best, that's why I didn't take it. But we might kind of push to the lows here, but also could bounce off this 15-minute range low from earlier, like we did here. So it's up to you. Prakash in the chat, he's very bearish today, so I don't think it said it would be terrible. What did I say? I think I said it might not be the best, but I think I said it wouldn't be terrible. So probably not something I'm going to take. But like I said, people are definitely bearish today. I think there's a good chance we do. Yeah, just like Prakash just said, follow your own strategy. Definitely don't go long or short based off what anyone else says. Because that's definitely something I like to preach. Follow your own strategy. I mean, definitely learn from others, right? It's always good to pick up a couple of things and learn and, you know, be part of the community. But if you want to succeed as a trader on your own, you have to be able to trade on your own. I just took 15 points for that short. Well, there you go. Well done. David, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely practice, practice. Figure out your strategy, your edge, what works for you. Because what works for me or what works for Prakash, I mean, it's just gonna be different for everybody. Even if it's like a good strategy, it might not be a strategy that suits your style of trading as well. But yeah, if you're feeling the shorts, go for it. And yeah, definitely not a bad idea to put your target kind of at the lows here, maybe down here, but again, you never know when it's going to bounce. So sounds like you got a nice little 15 points somewhere in there, which is fantastic. So it could be going for this high here on the 1 minute. Maybe get a little reversal, we'll see. Today was shit. Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to sum it up. Very choppy. Haven't quite broken out of the range either up here or down here. Still could happen. It's not too late. Yes, inching along. Oh yeah, we got like a little earthworm here. Inch by inch right here. This is, or I guess, is it called like an inchworm? Maybe that's different than an earthworm, but same idea. It's like 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Yeah, I kind of failed to go for the lows there, and now we're just, well, I guess we're trying again. See what happens. Nasdaq as well, jumping back down. Still though, it could just be forming another range here. Between here and here. Got a lot of those today. We'll make a little move, and then we chop. Little move. We actually rejected it up here, but then as soon as we got back down here, we chopped. Tried to go higher, failed. Now we're chopping. How long have you been trading for? About 2.5 years. Bro, I want to go live, teach me how to. Basically, just download the, at least on TikTok. YouTube's just a little bit easier, but TikTok was a little difficult, and it took me a while to figure out. There's some videos about it that might help you. But we got the TikTok Live Studio. If you download that and log into your TikTok account, it might let you live stream, but you also might need like a approval too, which I think I got. I'm not sure if this is how everyone gets it, but I got. Oh, it doesn't work on Mac. I'm not sure how then. You might be able to stream through OBS, but I think you need like a stream key to stream on TikTok through OBS. But personally, that's something I couldn't figure out because I was trying to do that because I didn't want to download the TikTok Live Studio just because it's an extra bloat on my computer. But yeah, to get a stream key, I think it's a little hard on TikTok. I was shorting from 304 and accidentally added contracts instead of closing, so I closed all ended plus 300. Oh, hey, up 300 is still profit. Still profit. How old are you? I'm 24. You said OBS? Yeah. It's one of the more popular streaming platforms. That's what I use for YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube, but then I also have like a vertical display or like a scene or whatever you want to call it. And then I turn on like the virtual camera, and I was able to basically access the virtual camera from OBS on TikTok Live Studio, and that's what you're seeing. So then I can just go in OBS and I can like add text and like move it around and stuff, just like I would in OBS normally for like YouTube. So I'm streaming on YouTube as well through OBS, and I just kind of move it over to the TikTok. But there might be a way to stream directly to TikTok from OBS. I couldn't figure it out. So I just downloaded the TikTok Live Studio because it's easier. But if you can figure it out, that might be your solution. Or there might be other solutions on how to stream to TikTok on Mac. You might be able to find something on YouTube if you're lucky. Or maybe you'll just have to stream on YouTube. But if you can get on TikTok, that'd be kind of nice. TikTok does seem to be a little easier to get started streaming, just with people coming in and chatting compared to YouTube. But I'm sure once YouTube does get going, I'm sure I'll be able to. It'll blow up a little bit more, but right now it's a little slow. K-Dubs, he had to go. Didn't get to say goodbye, that's alright. Why are you eating this mic? Eating the mic? I don't think I am. Maybe I am. No one else has said anything about it though, so you're the first one to mention anything. I might have moved it, maybe that's what made a little sound. But it's pretty far away from my mouth. I can put my hand in between the mic and my mouth. But I might just have the volume up a little loud. Oh, way better? Maybe it just had like a little... I don't know, I just have a headset. I need to get an actual mic still. What do you think about RR? Is that... I'm guessing it's crypto because you put the money sign before. Or maybe it's just a stock. I guess stocks do that as well. Rick Tech Robotics. Honestly don't know much about it. I've not heard of the company, but I know it's part of the NASDAQ. So it does affect the price of what we're trading right here. Looks like it's down 3.8% today. So definitely down a bit. That could be why we're a little bearish on the NASDAQ. Even though only slightly. We haven't gone down too much from the open today. So we are making another attempt to go lower. But still kind of just chopping around this range here. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about Tech Robotics. 30-point drop incoming. Oh boy. Could be right. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but it does look like... Oh, now it's down like 4% today. Oh yeah. Definitely a little bearish there on the robots. Alright, I'm gonna try a little retest here.
Order submitted.
If we get back up to the 15-minute range low. And then maybe we'll continue that short and get the full 30 points. Sorry, I just blew into my mic a little bit. Yeah, I've been trying to... I know my mic's not bad because I like edit my videos and get like clips from them and stuff. So I know it's not terrible, but it's still just a headset. Steel Series headset, so definitely hoping to find a good deal on a mic sooner or later. I've had my eye on this one for a little bit, but it's not on sale right now. It was on sale like 10-20 bucks cheaper like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I didn't buy it because I just was a little hesitant and wasn't fully ready to make the purchase. And now it's like more expensive, so it's like, well, shoot, I guess I probably should just wait till it goes on sale again, which I don't know when that's gonna happen, but hopefully sooner or later. It'll definitely be better for the stream and some YouTube videos and stuff. Get that better audio. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Dice. Alright, kind of hanging out at the lows. Haven't made the pullback yet for this possible retest. See if we get it, or see if we just go lower without us. Which is fine. I'd be okay with that, I guess. I'll forgive the market. I already made a little money today, so I'm chilling.
Order filled.
Oh, there it is. ATR is a little low, so we might not get the full profit here too quickly, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. If we do support this and go back lower, which we actually might not, since we're still kind of chopping. We might get back up into this chop up here. But if we hold these EMAs and make the move a little bit lower, that could be ideal. And then go back to these lows from where my target is. I do fear we might chop a little bit. We are about at that time of the day where we chop and we don't do too much, unfortunately. Or at least we're getting close to it. We might have like 30 minutes left if we're lucky before we really chop. Or like consolidate during lunch. But also today's been a little bit choppy just overall since we got FOMC coming up. And just not a lot of super strong volatility. Oh, speaking of volatility, there's a little push. See if we can hold there. Kind of struggling to get through. There we go.
Target filled.
And there it is. Target filled. Got a little extra there actually, 255. Nice little retest off the 15-minute low from earlier. 15-minute range was set. We kind of failed to close below it here super strongly. We got a better close here. We got the retest off this, and obviously the bottom of this kind of range as well. Held the EMAs pretty well. So another nice win, up 455 bucks. We'll take it. That's what we were waiting for. Just gotta be patient and wait for those good setups, because they will come eventually. Yes sir, W's in the chat. That's what we'd like to see. Not sure if we get any or too much other opportunities here. But we'll keep an eye out for them for at least a little bit longer. I might play a little bit Battlefield 6 while we wait. But also, I don't know if I'll stream too long today. Yesterday I streamed a bit longer than normal. So I don't know if I'll stream quite as long today. I might need to edit a video or two here in a little bit. But I might play one game, see how it goes. I might try that new Firestorm, or not Firestorm, Battle Royale, whatever it's called. It's like Red Stack or something for Battlefield 6. Something like that. We might try that out. Gotta start joining and taking notes. Hey, it definitely doesn't hurt to take some notes, that's for sure. Definitely a lot of things to be learned from not even just me, but like people in the chat as well. Good place just to share some insights and trade together, but also still trade like independently as well, if that makes sense. Trade your own strategy. Like I trade completely different than some of the other people in chat, but some days we both make money. It's awesome. What is your Discord? Don't have one yet, but I've had a couple people ask about it, so I might have to make one. Maybe this weekend I'll have to get on that. I just don't know much about, like I have Discord to like talk to my friends when I game and stuff, but I know nothing about like making a Discord server. But I'll have to look into that because I've had a couple of people ask about it. And definitely would want to get that going for you guys. Do you trade live anywhere else? Yeah, I'm also live on TikTok. You should be able to see like the TikTok chat in the little bottom left corner. That's what that is. Discord's a must. Dang, sounds like I better get on that. So yeah, you can see the TikTok chat as well. Live on TikTok and YouTube. But that's it right now. I might do Twitch as well. I just don't think Twitch is as big for like trading specifically. It's more like gaming and like just chatting and stuff. So don't know if I need to put Twitch as well. And that's just like extra load for like the stream, like both internet and also like on my computer. Where are you at? East side or west side? You're talking about like United States? I'm on the west. YouTube bib? Not sure what you mean by that, but oh yeah, YouTube has a lot of traders. Yeah, that's kind of like, it's been my main focus, like with YouTube Shorts. Oh, big. Gotcha. Yeah, that's where I kind of started, and then I started doing TikTok as well, just to kind of grow the stream and like my platforms a little bit more. Just, you know, have more lines in the water, I guess. But YouTube's definitely kind of been the main focus. It's just not as popular. Like I don't get chatters as often. But yeah, YouTube's big for traders. That's where a lot of the bigger streamers are, like Patrick Wheeland, Trades by Matt, or what's the one, like FS2 or something like that. FS funded. I forgot, but he trades a lot. There's a lot of live traders on YouTube for trading. Nutty Bar, Alpine. Oh, this guy, Future Scalper. What's his like? His YouTube channel is called Future Scalper, but I know he goes by something else. Oh, like FSP or something like that. Anyways. But yeah, TikTok is also good. I've seen some of that as I've been scrolling through like some of the lives. So I was like, oh, I better add a little TikTok in there. Going live is risky, especially if you're wrong. That is true. That is very true. Yeah, I definitely don't claim to be, you know, the millionaire trader who always wins. Because I do worry a little bit about that reputation, and if I, you know, don't perform the best, then obviously like people are gonna call me out for it. So I'm more just here to, you know, I already was trading every morning on my own, so I was like, why not stream while I do it? Just kind of hit two birds with one stone. And if people like my personality, if they like my commentary, then they'll hang out, enjoy the stream. I've had a lot of people tell me just like the vibe is good. Just like you said, I love your calmness during ups and downs. Like, that's what I'm kind of going for. A good vibe, little community, little area just to like talk about trading. And I mean, yeah, set up a Discord at some point and it's gonna have a nice place to trade. Like, even if I'm not the most profitable, well, obviously that's the goal too, right? Is to be profitable trading. So hopefully that is also what happens. But yeah, no one always wins. And that's, I think some people like that as well. It's like just being transparent. And that's my goal, right? Be transparent, trade, enjoy the process. You know, a lot of people, they come in the chat, they're also, you know, they're still learning, they're still working on things, and yeah, fun to kind of go through it together a little bit. Are you in gold? I'm not. This is a NASDAQ. I thought about trading some gold futures, but I haven't gotten into it yet. I'm just sticking to what I am familiar with because I think kind of like strategy hopping. If I switch between like gold, ES, NASDAQ, I think I'm just going to open myself up to a little bit more risk possibly, right? Because I'm just not familiar with the other assets. Haven't traded them before. Nice bounce off the support. Yeah, no, we kind of went through that there, got the retest, but then we kind of came back through and now we're holding up pretty well here. Back to VWAP. Yeah, good day today. 2 nice wins. Can't complain about that. That definitely is good for the stream. Make some good TikToks or YouTube shorts out of it. But you said that was risky, but at the same time, or who was it? Was it Dice that said it was risky? Yeah, he said going live is risky. I don't know if he's still in the chats. Sometimes on TikTok it lets me see who's like still watching. He might not be here anymore, but I will say, like, as risky as it can be, it also like, I don't know, the way I see it is that it's not that risky. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm trading anyways. And if I just live stream while I trade, I mean, I might not succeed as a streamer, right? I might not get a big stream like Patrick Whelan with thousands of viewers. But it's not like I'm losing anything if I don't, right? I mean, sure, I'm putting forth a little bit more effort to like stream and like commentate and chat and everything. But at the end of the day, like, it's not like I'm losing anything. It's not like I really have a reputation to like lose. So even if I did like live stream and I just lost every single trade, I mean, it sucked for me to lose every single trade for my trading in general, but it just would mean I wouldn't really succeed as a streamer probably. But it's not like I'm a successful streamer already, so again, nothing really to lose here. But yeah, probably not planning on, at least right now, like, I don't want to be one of those guys that's trying to sell a course or sell a Discord or sell whatever to, you know, make money from people. Because that's where it could definitely be tricky as well. If it's like, oh yeah, like, watch my videos, buy my course, you know, then you can be profitable. Nah, I don't want to be that guy. Don't want to be that guy. There's enough of those guys out there. It would be nice to make money from the streaming as well, just to kind of help support my goals as well as trading. But if you want to support me, just use my code for funding ticks. That's all I can really say. At some point, I'll try and get codes for other prop firms, but so far, I think I'm too small of a streamer still to get codes for all of them. But that's how you guys can support me. If you're buying prop firm accounts already to trade, just use my code, and then that'll support me. But yeah, I don't want to be the guy that's selling courses and trying to make money off bad traders. Or susceptible traders who are looking for, you know, end-all, win-all strategy that just doesn't exist. I feel like I'm always wrong reading the graph. It definitely can be tricky, especially recently, like even days like today. Today's price action has been pretty crappy, just to be like blunt. I kind of talked about it earlier, but like we tried to push the highs here, we failed. Tried to push the lows here, failed. Chopped. Like this is just ugly. And then we pushed the highs. We kind of made a little bit of a move up. And then we went all the way back down to the middle of this chop. And then we started chopping more. Got a little higher. Came all the way back down to the lows. Started chopping some more. I mean, I got a little bit lucky, right? I got a little retest here, continued higher, a little retest here, continued lower. Like my strategy like worked, but like not a lot of setups, and in general we've had pretty bad price action for sure. So to sum that up, definitely hard to read the market, hard to read the charts for sure, especially recently. Last couple months have been pretty difficult. Like I definitely, just being honest, like I have not made the most. The last couple weeks haven't been too bad. I've been getting some more winning trades, I think, but there's been like Monday and Tuesday this week, I think I didn't make any trades. Well, I mean I did. I just got break-even trades though. So I didn't really make any money Monday or Tuesday. Today, made some money. We're chilling. Again, last week might have been not the best. Might have made some money last week. I think I had a couple good trades, but yeah, it hasn't been the best last couple months for me. So I imagine it's been a little difficult for other traders as well, just with their strategies, assuming they're similar to mine. But it just depends. Again, there's been plenty of traders who are making money still, but then they might not make as much other times of the year. But yeah, a big part of trading is just keeping your emotions in check, being calm, not letting this stuff get to you. What's funny, Ticks? It is a propfirm. Do you know what a propfirm is? Or is that also a new term you're unfamiliar with? If you've heard of like Apex or Top Step, it's just like one of those. That's new too. So basically, propfirm for trading. I think they have some propfirms for like Forex and things, but I think they're a little bit more popular with like futures trading, which is what I'm doing. Definitely has a lot better just like volume, volatility and stuff, which is really nice. But basically, a propfirm, I'll try and keep it simple, but still like give you a good explanation. Basically, through a propfirm, and there might be some good YouTube videos about this as well that you could like dive into in your free time. I still need to make one for my channel just so I can like send people to that instead of someone else's video, but for now, there's plenty of other good ones to go watch. But to sum it up for you, basically you could trade your own money, which is what most people probably think of when they think of trading. But to trade futures especially, you need like thousands of dollars to really get started. And even if you have thousands of dollars, it's hard to make more than, you know, a couple $100 here and there without risking a lot of your money, because it's very volatile, right? Futures especially is pretty over leveraged. But the propfirm, you're able to trade someone else's money, you're able to get funded. And then you're able to use that money to then trade with and make money. And basically you can get a payout depending on how much money you make on the propfirm, and then you basically get paid kind of like a job almost, if that makes any sense. So like for example with like the funding ticks, you basically go to the website, you buy what they call like kind of a test account or like an evaluation for a price, but that price is a lot cheaper than if you were to trade your own money. Like with funding ticks, I think the cheaper accounts are like $50 or maybe a little cheaper, and then the most expensive ones, I mean, well, they get a little bit more pricey, but I'd say like 50 to 100 is kind of on average. But you can actually get like a, well, I'm jumping ahead here. Basically, you buy the test account evaluation, 50 to 100 bucks, and it has like strict rules, and that's kind of the downside of it. But if you're a good trader and you follow their rules and you're consistent, you can basically pass the evaluation. And just for example, like the accounts I'm using with Funding Ticks, it's a $50,000 account. But basically you can't lose more than $2,000, otherwise you blow it and they take it away from you. And the profit goal is $2,500. So once you make $2,500, then you pass the account and then you get funded. Because at first it's just the evaluation, right? It's just the test. And you still have to follow the rules. But then once you pass the account, get the profit goal without breaking the rules, they'll give you an actual funded account. It's not actually $50,000 either. You still have the same rules, right? You can only lose $2,000. So it's basically like a $2,000 account, you could say. But you have the buying power of $50,000. So like a little confusing, but basically like you can trade multiple contracts. Like if I were to trade like 2 or 3 contracts, I'd need like $4,000 or $5,000 or more. And that's like the minimum. It's not smart to do that. If I was actually to trade like 5 contracts, I'd probably want like, how much? Like $25,000 or more. Basically, you'd probably want a pretty good account size to trade more than just one contract. Even one contract, I'd recommend like $5,000 to $10,000. But with the propfirm account, you only have $2,000 to lose. So like, again, it's not easy to do, but you have $50,000 worth of buying power. And then you just have to like stay within the rules. And you can trade micros as well, which are 1/10 the size. Like this trade I made right here, I just traded one contract. You see one short, right? It says one short. And this was 12.5 points, $255. Today's a little slow. The volatility is pretty low, so it's a little easier to trade. Some days, this move right here is like 20 points or more, so it's almost double the size. But there is micros, which would basically make this move only $25 because it's 1/10 the size. So that's where you're able to size down just a little bit and, you know, trade the propfirms, right? Like if you're trading with only $2,000, sometimes you can get away with a little trade like this of $255, which again is kind of like, it gives me room where I can lose a couple of these and not blow my account right away. But I still would probably recommend like keeping the risk low, right? You want to have like room to lose a couple, but then win more, right? That's where a lot of people blow up their propfirm accounts, is they just size up too much. They're a little too aggressive. Especially with, I mean, again, this little move being $255, not a lot, but if you're trading like up here, from like here down to here, you're losing like, from here down to here is $800, which is like almost half the money you can lose. And on a day like today, it's maybe a little harder to lose that much, but like on a different day, when there's a little bit more volatility or news, you could lose $800 in like 5 minutes or less. So anyways, still gotta trade smart, follow the rules. They've got like a lot of rules typically, which is why propfirms aren't they're not for everyone, but they're a very good barrier for entry, which is why they're popular. Because for someone who doesn't have tens of thousands of dollars, you basically, like if you only have like $2,000, for example, it's very hard to get into this. But if you have even like $200, you can buy a propfirm account, which I still wouldn't recommend until you like paper trade and like are confident practice trading, because you're still putting money on the line, obviously. But like you're only risking like $50 to $100, and then if you trade and follow the rules, you can get funded, and then if you do it again, and if you get like $2,500 or $3,000, basically you qualify for a payout of like $1,500 or more, and then they'll pay you. And all you put up was like $50 for your account. So that's where they're really nice. Very good barrier to entry for new traders. How old are you? So much knowledge. I'm 24, but I've been trading for like 2.5 years, almost every single morning. So I've learned a thing or two just from experience. But I guess I'm still technically relatively younger, but I am getting older, so slowly but surely. But yeah, definitely great opportunity for new traders to get some skin in the game and make thousands of dollars without risking thousands of dollars. Last summer, I was trading a little bit better, and I had some funded accounts with Apex, or another prop firm. Their rules are not the best, but I was able to still make some money doing it. Basically, I passed my evaluations, got funded, and then I just kept trading well, and I got up to like the minimum amount that I needed for a payout. And then when you get a payout, you get $2,000. So I ended up getting like 6 payouts last summer. So I made like 12 grand last summer. It was pretty sick. But I think I only spent like, how much did I spend? I could do the math, but let's see. It's like 30 times. It's like probably 900 bucks, or actually technically less. Because I did buy some more accounts as time went on, because I was like, oh, like I'm doing well. So that's another thing, is you can scale by buying more accounts. Like you don't just need one prop firm account. I mean, that's a good place to start, and that's what I'd recommend, because it can be hard to manage more than one. But you can get more and more prop firm accounts over time. You can either copy trade them or just trade them independently, separately. Both have like their advantages, pros and cons. But I think the 6 payouts that I got of $2,000 each, I think I got them on only like 1 or 2 different accounts. Well, like 2. I think I got like 3 payouts. No, I got 4 payouts on my first account, and I got 2 payouts on my second account. And like the last 2 payouts on the first account were at the same time as the second account, if that makes sense. So I got 2 payouts at a time the last 2 times. Anyways, basically those 2 accounts that got me all those payouts, they only cost me like 350 bucks total. Because I spent like 35 bucks for the evaluation phase of both of them, and then they have an activation fee once you get funded and pass of like 140 bucks, which I did pay to like activate it, obviously. So after I got funded, I was kind of in 350 bucks, which for some is a lot. And still, again, you're still putting money on the line. But with that 350 bucks, I then made $12,000 from the prop firm payouts. So I'd say that's a very solid return on investment. Definitely pretty nice. Pretty nice. But the nice thing about funding ticks, which is why like I recommend them, and like I got a code as well to get a little discount, is I think currently you can get a $50,000 account for around 50 to 60 bucks. And that's including the activation. Like you don't have to activate it after. So like once you like pass the evaluation or the test, you don't have to pay the activation fee. So like the other ones I traded last year, they're like only 35 bucks for the evaluation, but then it was like 140 bucks to activate it once you got funded. But these ones are 50 bucks with no activation fee. So they're definitely one of the cheaper ones out there right now. So like for 50 bucks, if you can trade well, right, you can get started trading on the prop firm and then possibly get thousands of dollars in payouts within a couple months or within like 1 month. I mean, if you're really good, you could probably get like 2 payouts a month potentially. That's why I did last summer, about 1 to 2 payouts a month. of like $2,000 to $4,000. So it's pretty solid. I think 1 month I made like $6,000. Anyways, I've got some experience. I've done well, but this year's been a little weird for me. I haven't been trading the best, but we'll get back on it. Today was a good day. Just got to be consistent, be smart, patient, all the good stuff. That's what we're here for. Very solid. Yes, sir. Yeah, we like prop firms. We like prop firms. The end goal is to have a big enough trading account that I don't need prop firms, just because the prop firm rules can be a little tedious sometimes. They're definitely not for everyone. And it can be easy to break the rules and blow up accounts even if you still are like a good trader. Because that's been like my problem is like sometimes like I'll make like $2,000, but then my drawdown, because like the drawdown like usually trails, like they call it the trailing drawdown, it'll trail my profits. But then like I'll have a bad week where I'll like lose $2,000. And like technically like I didn't make or lose money because like I made 2,000, lost 2,000. But because of the prop firm rules, I'll blow the account and have to start over. So that can be a little bit annoying. But obviously the idea is just to like be a good enough trader that doesn't happen. Why not do end of day drawdown? I usually do. Apex, the ones I traded with last year that I got the payouts with, they have the live trailing drawdown, like the intraday is what they call it. But trailing drawdown is, I can see why you like got a little confused with the definition there, but they are the same. Like end of day drawdown is trailing, because if you do make like $100 for example, your drawdown at the end of the day moves up $100. It still trails your profits. It just doesn't. I think the difference is intraday trailing drawdown versus end of day trailing drawdown, because both of them trail. Both of them follow your profits. That is true. Once you pass the buffer, they don't trail anymore. And usually the buffer is like your drawdown. So once you're up $2,000 in profit, for example, like on at least on these accounts, the funny ticks, once you're up $2,000, it no longer goes higher, but it still goes to that point. So once you're at $2,000, I think it stops at like kind of the break-even point. So that's where like eventually you can build up a buffer and get past kind of the drawdown, but that's only like if and when you get to that point. Unless I'm understanding your statement wrong, it is, oh yeah, it's that trailing drawdown is definitely rigged to fail people. And it definitely forces people to kind of scalp and make smaller trades because, again, you just don't. It makes it tough. But again, I think we're on the kind of the same page. But I think, again, Apex is kind of the only firm that has the intraday trailing drawdown, and that's the one where your unrealized profits still count towards your drawdown. So like if I'm up $500 in a trade and I don't take profit and I lose the trade, or I like a break even, it still counts that I was up $500. So my drawdown still moves up $500. Exactly. Apex has its pros, but again, the cons are the intraday trailing drawdown, which I'm not a big fan of either. Tradeify is also... Sorry, I think I know like where it's coming from, but like the definitions I'm used to is intraday versus end of day, because trailing is all of them trail at the end of the, but some trail at the end of the day. So like Top Step doesn't trail your unrealized gains. Yeah. Sorry, it's just like the, I don't want to be like too picky, but I feel like you look at the definitions, like they all, like, just so like newer people aren't confused, basically all of them trail, but Top Step trails at the end of the day, Apex trails unrealized gains. And that's the difference. In your opinion, best prop firm now? I would probably say Funny Ticks, just because they're newer, but they're not like too new where they're not like reputable. They have a good enough reputation and they pay out, but right now they're one of the cheapest and they have some of the best rules. Because right now the rules are better than Top Step because they have end of day trailing drawdown, right? So like my $455 right here that I've made, you can see up in the top left, that doesn't get added to my drawdown until the day's over. So I could lose all this money and my drawdown doesn't change at the, like tomorrow. So again, end of day is nice. Funny Ticks has end of day. And for the evaluation, I only have to make $2,500 to pass the account instead of $3,000. Typically, $50,000 prop firm accounts, like from Top Step or other firms, like Tradeify, you have to make $3,000 to pass the account. Funny Ticks is one of the best right now because you only have to make $2,500, so it's a little easier to get funded. And right now the prices are a little bit cheaper, just because I think it's a newer firm, so they have to be a little bit more competitive. So that could change, but right now, especially with like the 20% off or 35% off for new users, people that are new to Funny Ticks, you can get a $50,000 account for $50 with no activation fee once you get funded. So it's one of the cheapest all-in funded accounts you can get right now. I'd say Tradeify is also pretty solid, but their accounts are a little bit more money. I do like Tradeify. I think some of the Tradeify accounts have trailing or like intraday trailing drawdown. Or some people call it live trailing drawdown because it's like live that it happens. That's a little easier. I'm not going to say intraday because that, I don't know, not my favorite word. We'll say live. Live trailing drawdown versus end of day. I think Tradeify has live trailing drawdown options, but it also has end of day trailing drawdown options. All of them on Tradeify? Maybe they changed it. When I traded with Tradeify earlier this year, I had the straight to funded accounts, or like the lightning ones, whatever they're called now. Let me see. I'll pull up their website now just to like see what's new. Yeah, so if you get their lightning funded accounts, which are the straight to funded, whether you get the 25k account, 50, 100, or 150k, they have end of day drawdown. And that's what I traded, was like the 150k straight to funded. It's a little more pricey though, it's like $500. But it's straight to funded. You skip the evaluation, and you have a $150,000 account, and you have $6,000 of drawdown, which is pretty good in my opinion. That's where Tradeify is also pretty solid. But they do have like the 20% consistency, which makes it tough to kind of build up profits quickly. But as long as you just take it slow and simple, pretty solid. But also it looks like okay, so if you get the advanced accounts on Tradeify, those ones have intraday. You can kind of see on the main part of their website, the drawdown mode says intraday. But if you get the growth account, those ones also are end of day. So if you get lightning or growth, it's end of day. But if you get advanced, that is intraday. but also the advanced ones are the cheapest. And that's where, for some people, that might make more sense, right? If you don't have as much money right now, you might have to go with the advanced accounts, which are a little cheaper. And that's kind of how Apex is as well, because Apex still has like the cheapest evaluation with their 80% off. You can get it for like 35 bucks or cheaper. You still have to pay the activation fee though, which is a little annoying. But I think that's kind of the idea, is if you get intraday trillion drawdown, you get a little cheaper account, but it's a little harder to pass. And the growth accounts, end of day drawdown, a little bit better. And then yeah, the lightning accounts, the straight to fund, it has end of day. So most of their accounts are end of day, but they still have a couple with intraday, if that is what you prefer, or if you just want to be a little cheaper. So there you go. Yeah, if you go to their website and just click on like Get Funded Now and scroll down, you can see the different account types. SPCE. What's that? Stock? Virgin Galactic Holdings. Nice. Looks like it's up 1.23% today. Pretty solid. So yeah, a lot of good firms out there. Just depends on what your preference is. Currently, I only have a discount code for funding ticks because I'm still new to this whole streaming thing, trying to build up my audience. Well, eventually I'll try and get a code for all the good firms, just so people can support me however they want and can keep using the firm that they prefer, whether it's funding ticks, whether it's Tradeify, Apex. Alpha Futures. I've heard a little bit about that one, but not too much. Sounds like they have got decent rules though. 3-day payouts, 15K withdraw, and end of day drawdown. Again, yeah, I think if you haven't looked into funding ticks, definitely would recommend. I think they have some of the better rules and stuff right now, just because they're a little bit newer and have to be competitive. And it sounds like Alpha Futures might be similar. So yeah, check them out. Use my code if you want to support me. I get a little commission, that's all. But only do it if you like want to, obviously. Definitely don't have to support me or don't have to use funny ticks if they don't sound like the firm that you want to use. But it does help support the stream, so would appreciate it. Also, a follow is always good support as well. Help out the channel, both the TikTok as well as I got my YouTube as well. Feel free to go check it out. Subscribe if you enjoy the stream. I'll be back tomorrow, I think. No, I should be back tomorrow morning for the New York Market Open. Probably called a stream here. It's been good chatting. But might be about that time for me to go edit some videos and eat some lunch. But I appreciate everyone hanging out, all the supports, the likes, the views, new followers. And yeah, subscribe, follow if you're new. And hopefully see you guys again sometime. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.